are the new doors that Jimmy installed. We put them on, we had 5 of them. So if you would have remembered, he has done a renovation job for that one lady. She is a business owner. So he renovated her house and he also renovated the upstairs of her office. So she had a whole bunch of offices in that main space, and it's only her that runs the company. She doesn't have any associates that she works with. So all those offices actually Jimmy tore down and opened up the space and ended up having some extra doors. So these are the doors that Jimmy installed. They are absolutely beautiful. So there's one on my office, one on his gun room, one on our storage room, and then we have 2 that are on our linen closets. Like I said, this place used to be a duplex, so it's actually a 3 full bathroom, 6 bedroom house. And so there's linen closets on the outside of the bathrooms downstairs. And so he put one of those doors on each of those. So they look fantastic. I absolutely love them. But we're obviously not going to put them on the bedrooms. You know, I say bedrooms, but it's only Jimmy and I now. But I'm sure eventually, like, you know, 2-3 years down the road, when we do decide to sell, you know, we may change out those doors, because this is a bedroom, and same with Jimmy's gun room is a bedroom as well. So wanted to finally show those. But the main reason for today's video is I'm going to be sharing the Korean beef bowl recipe with you. Let me tell you, we loved this recipe. And another thing, it was so simple and easy to make. It literally took probably 10 minutes. It took no time at all to make it, and it was absolutely delicious. So I will be showing you that and be doing a voiceover while I am creating that meal. But I also wanted to mention that, you know, I am transitioning my channel, and I am kind of counting, well, I'm tracking my macros and calories. I am not in a huge deficit whatsoever. I'm actually right now just trying to maintain. I know it sounds weird for me to maintain my weight at this weight, but the whole thing is that I'm really trying to heal my metabolism. I've been dieting for over 25 years. I have done so much damage. I have eaten 1,000 calories, 800 calories. Like, I have really done a number on my body, not only physical and mentally with my eating disorder, as far as being, you know, a food addict. I love food, but I'm trying to learn on how to eat the right foods and, you know, what works for me. I'm sure you all are the same, and what works for you. I was thinking the other night of all of the diets that I've done that have worked, and you know, the only thing is that it's not sustainable for me. You know, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done carb cycling, and working out twice a day. I've done, you know, the keto, I've done, you know, a lot of different things. And, you know, for me, it's been for strictly weight loss. It hasn't been for anything else medical. I want to explain that, but they've all worked. Every single diet that I've done has all worked. And, you know, the key is to eat in a calorie deficit and, you know, to move your body. Like, I feel like that's really important. And that's one thing on keto that I never did, is I never moved my body. And, you know, I'm going through the motions of learning, you know, how to heal my body as far as the damage that I've done metabolically. And I'm just learning. So I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing now. So you will see there is carbs, you know, there is a lot of food, and I'm just trying to maintain it for right now. I'm just trying to maintain it, because if I can maintain eating 2,000 calories every day, then I'm not going to have to eat 1,000 calories in order to lose weight. I'm gonna have to eat like 1,800, you know, and that's what I'm trying to do. I will never go down to under 1,500. Hopefully, after all of this, I will never have to go under 1,500 calories in order to lose weight. You know, I can't stress enough how much it has done damage for myself. Everybody is different. You know, you can kind of navigate through what you're doing and kind of seeing the patterns of what you're doing. But for me, you know, it's just not good for me, and it's not good, especially now. I'm 46 years old. I'm going to be reaching 50, you know, in 4 years, and I want to get my metabolism under control, where I'm not eating 800 calories or 1200 calories just to sustain my weight, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. So you are going to see a lot of food in this. I actually had 2 big meals this day. My first meal was actually quite heavy of a meal, which I was so surprised, but by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I was really hungry, which doesn't happen too often. Usually supper has kind of been my bigger meal, and we've been eating a little bit earlier, around 5 o'clock, now that we don't have kids and it's just Jimmy and I. But this day that I'm recording I was really hungry that day. So I'm going to show you what I ate for today. Then after that, we will get into the Korean bowl recipe. That is what we had for dinner, and it was fantastic. So let me share with you what I ate on this day. I am starting off by putting my hash browns in my air fryer. So I did make 4 of them because Jimmy loves these hash browns and they turn out so good in the air fryer. So I did make 4 of them, and we are just going to put our air fryer on, and I am going to set the temperature around 400 and for 13 minutes, and they usually turn out really good and crispy. While that is cooking in the air fryer, we are going to start on our turkey bacon. I actually have 3 slices of turkey bacon here. I ended up not eating all of the turkey bacon, but I just wanted to show you that I was cooking it. Then I am also going to be having some spinach dip and some sourdough bread. This has been my go-to snack lately. So I am weighing it out because, like I mentioned, I am tracking my macros and calories. I will not be sharing my totals in my videos because it's just for my sake, and I don't want everybody to get the understanding that you can eat 2,000 calories and lose weight. So I choose not to share my macros or calories. I am also going to fry up 2 eggs as well, and this is my final plate. Look at all this food. It was so good. I have 2 hash browns with a half of an avocado, 2 eggs, 50 grams of sourdough bread, 30 grams of spinach dip, and 3 slices of turkey bacon. I usually try to split it up into 1 big meal and 2 kind of larger snacks. That's usually what I've been doing. But this day I was just really hungry, and I was really hungry for like a brunch breakfast type of meal. And I'm telling you, that hash brown with avocado and an egg is my favorite right now. It is so good. So I know a lot of you are like, holy crap, Janet, that is so many carbs. That is so much food. That is, but I've been eating this way for a long time, probably for sure for the last 2 months. I have been eating with this amount of macros and calories. So sorry if it's a shock for you. However, it's not a shock for me. And, I kind of even was contemplating on not sharing what I'm eating because I know a lot of people are critical on what I'm eating and what I should be doing. People that I've never even met are telling me what I need to be doing. But it's to the point where this is my channel and I will share what I want to share. And there is a lot of people interested in what I am doing right now in order to heal my body and to give it the amount of calories and macros that it needs in order to be healthy on the inside as far as my metabolism, make sure everything's running properly, making sure I'm getting like enough energy in my body so that I have enough energy throughout the day. So that breakfast was so good. I actually never finished all of it. I had 2 pieces of turkey bacon left, and then I also had some of the bread from the bread and the sourdough bread and spinach dip left as well too. So the dogs ended up getting a little bit of a treat. But that was my meal number 1. And if you are contemplating on maybe like transitioning into this lifestyle, like a balanced lifestyle, that hash browns, I was pleasantly surprised. So I actually got that idea from a friend of mine who is a celiac. And, I was saying about, I was telling him pretty much my whole life story about my diets and all of this. And she said, well, what I do as like kind of a little substitute is I have hash brown avocado toast. And I love avocado toast anyways, like with bread. But I just wanted to try this hash brown hack, and it was absolutely delicious. So let's get to the start of the show. That is the Korean beef bowl. So let's get into it.
First, we are going to put our egg rolls in the air fryer. I love my air fryer, so I use it quite a bit, especially in the summertime. So I am going to put in 4 egg rolls, 2 for Jimmy and 2 for myself. Then I'm going to get started on the beef. So as you can see, I am just making the beef as per regular. I didn't add anything to it at this point. And as you can see on the right side, I am making rice. We make minute rice because that's Jimmy's favorite. So I'm just cooking up the meat, and then we will get into adding all the ingredients here. First of all, I am going to add sesame seed oil. I did add 2 teaspoons of this, and to be honest, I probably could have cut that in half, because this whole recipe I pretty much cut in half because it was just Jimmy and I. So I kind of gauged for only about a half a pound of meat being used. The recipe is down below, and it is a pound of ground beef. We are hunters, so we use venison all the time. We have a freezer full of beef, steaks, roast, not beef, but ground meat. I am going to add some garlic here. I'm a huge fan of garlic, so we always have this minced garlic that we keep in the fridge. And then there's a few things that I actually omit. So if you look down at the recipe, I omitted the ginger. I am not a huge ginger fan whatsoever. And then the red peppers I was going to add, but I think Zoe ended up taking it with her in the move. She has been making, she is like a little homemaker. So she makes her own pickles and, does a lot of cooking and everything. So I think she took the red peppers with her, which was totally fine. Next, I'm going to add some soy sauce. Now I am using 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce, and even this was a little bit too much as well. You're just going to have to play around with the recipe, but if you are using a full pound of ground meat, then you will be able to follow the recipe to a T. For me, it was just a little bit different because it's just Jimmy and I, so I tried to cut everything in half. Then I am going to be adding some brown sugar. So this, I used 2 tablespoons of the brown sugar, and I added just a little bit more because I found I used a lot of soy sauce. So then I needed to add a little bit more brown sugar to it, but it ended up turning out really, really good. But I used 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I'm just going to mix all of that up. You let it cook for probably about 8 to 10 minutes. Let the meat absorb all of that flavor that you put into it. I didn't add any other seasonings other than what is in the recipe below, and other than the ingredients that I did omit. So we are just going to mix this up. I turned it down to low, and I just let it cook for about 8 to 10 minutes until all of the meat was absorbed. So this is the meat completely done. So we are going to get ready to serve up our plates. So I am just going to serve up mine here. I put in some rice. Probably, I didn't even finish this because I think my first meal was so large. So I would say I probably put about 3/4 of a cup of rice, and I only finished half of this. And then I put in some of the meat. This recipe, when we halved it, turned out to be a perfect amount for Jimmy and I. There was some left over, but it was very, very good. I tend to bulk up on the meat more so than the rice, just in order for it to fit my macros. But it was so good. And here it is all completely done. I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of soy sauce to this. Now, I suggest not putting very much, with your recipe and with your rice or cauliflower rice or whatever you choose to have, because the beef has so much flavor and already has soy sauce in it that you really don't need to add a lot of soy sauce to your final meal. So this is my bowl once it is all complete. And then I am also going to have 2 egg rolls with that, and I am going to be adding some plum sauce, just a tiny little bit, to my egg rolls. And I'm telling you, this was such a good meal. Your husband will love it. Your kids will love it. And it was so simple. Literally took me probably 10-13 minutes in order to finish this whole recipe.
Like I said, that Korean beef bowl was so easy and so quick to make. Now, I want to mention a couple things in case you're like, oh, I thought you said this could be keto or low carb. It can be. So I would substitute out the brown sugar for the golden sweetener, like Lecanto or something like that. And I would also sub out the rice for cauliflower rice. Now your portions don't have to be like mine as far as rice and beef. It can be less cauliflower rice and more beef. It doesn't have to be exactly what I was showing you. Like I said, I'm just sharing what I'm eating, but I did want to share that recipe because for a lot of you that are still following a keto or low carb lifestyle, you definitely can make that recipe as well, and you can make it keto or low carb. It's totally up to you. I'm just giving it as a suggestion, and how easy it was unbelievable. Another thing that you could add that we're just not really fond of is green onions. You can slice them up, have them on top. Sesame seeds, you can have those on top as well. One thing I did mention to Jimmy when we were eating it is I would have added, and I'm not even like a big vegetable fan, you guys know that, but I would have added some like bok chow and maybe some carrots, like shaved carrots, to make it kind of like an Asian bowl feel. But that's totally up to you. You can even add peppers in it, you know, any sort of green, red, yellow peppers in it, and I think that would really kind of bulk up your meal. And so I wanted to suggest that as well to you. So I adjusted the recipe because it is only 2 of us, and I pretty much halved the recipe because making all of that, you know, it's just Jimmy and I. So I did half the recipe and adjust all of the measurements a little bit. So I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that as well. But really, really good. Jimmy loved it as well. And it just paired really good with the egg rolls and just kind of gave it like that Asian bowl feeling. And it was really, really good. And it was something different, right? So I wanted to share that recipe with you. Also, I will mention that recipe will be down in the description. I did get it just off the internet and I searched up Korean beef bowl. Super easy, super simple, and you probably have most of the ingredients as well in your cupboard, so make sure you give it a try. That is it for this day of eating, you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please make sure you leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you like it, you don't like it. And we'll go from there. But thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.